In this video we will learn about the saving function. So what is the saving function? So saving function means it refers to a ratio between saving and income, or corresponding to saving and income, you may write. Okay, so saving function is equal to f into y, where s indicates saving, f indicates functional relation, and y indicates national income. It can be explained with the help of following schedule. So here suppose y is given, here saving is given. Okay, so when y is equal to 0, then the saving is equal to minus 50. When the y is 50, then it is minus 25. When it is 100, let saving is equal to 0. Let 150, suppose that is 25, that is 200, it is 50, and so on. So it can be explained with the help of following diagram. So on the y-axis we will take the saving, and on the x-axis we will take income. So this is our x-axis and this is our y-axis. Let that is the minus 25, next that is minus 50, and so on. It is 25, it is 50, it is 75, and so on. So if the income is 0, saving is minus 50, so we will locate at this point. When the income, here we will take the income 50, next 100, next 150, next 200, next 250, and so on. Clear? So that indicates the income and it indicates the saving. Clear? So when the income is 50, our saving is minus 25, so it will indicates at this point. When income is equal to 100, saving is equal to 0, so it indicates at this point. When income is 150, then the saving is, suppose at this point, that is in front of the 25. Next the income is 200, then the saving is 50, and so on. So in this way, if you join all the points, you will get the saving curve. So SS is the saving curve. So what will be the observation? So observation is, first, saving starts from y-axis of negative when income is 0. Second point, as income increases, saving also increases. Because all the part of the income no one consume, it saves for futures. Third, saving may be positive after break even point. And break even point is known as y is equal to c. Fourth, the saving curve, saving line moves upward. So these are the basic observation regarding the saving function. Now we will discuss about the how many kinds of or propensity to save. So the saving function, or you can say that is the propensity to save. It has two main components. One is known as APS, average propensity to save. Average propensity to save. And other is known as MPS, means marginal propensity to save. Now we will discuss both. First, APS. APS is equal to S divided by Y, where S is the saving and Y is the national income. So the definition is it is a ratio between saving and income. Okay. So here what will be the value of APS? So suppose this is the S and this is the Y. So as you know that, first that is the Y and this is the S, 0, 50, next 100, next 150, next 200. Saving, that is minus, suppose 50, minus 25, 0, 25, and this is 50. So APS is equal to minus 50 divided by 0, that is the nothing because it is infinite. So minus 25 divided by 50 is equal to minus 0.5, and here APS will be 0, and here 25 divided by 150, so 1.6, 0.16, and suppose it is 50, .25. So 1 by 4 is equal to 0.25. So 0.25. Clear? So the observation is that first, APS may be negative. Second, APS may be 0. Third, APS increases as income increases. Fourth, APS never be 1. Because some part of income will be consumed. Okay, so this is the basic difference. We can calculate APS through the diagrammatical presentation. So on the x-axis, that is the income, and on y-axis, that is the saving. Clear? This is the 0. So suppose that is the minus 25, minus 50, 0, 25, 50, 75 and so on. The income is suppose 50, 100, 150, 200 and so on. This is the point from where the saving line passes through. Is it clear? So at this point, APS is equal to minus 0.5. At this point, APS is equal to 0. At this point, APS is equal to 0.16. At this point, APS is equal to 0.25, sorry, 0.25. So in this way, we will calculate the APS, because the formula is APS is equal to S divided by Y. So in the first video, I have discussed the saving function. It is a functional relation between income and saving, or you can say as income increases, saving also increases. On that basis, APS, that is the saving line, is continuously rising. Now come to the MPS. Now we will discuss about the MPS, that is the marginal propensity to save. It is denoted by delta S by delta Y. Means as the income change, saving also change. So we can say it is a ratio. It is a ratio between change in saving and change in income. Okay, so income is given, saving is also given. Now we can calculate easily, that is the change in income. Here there is no change because it starts from the 0, so that's why it is blank. Now minus 25, sorry, 0 to 50, it means it has changed 50, 50 to 100, again it has changed 50. So here the income is increasing at a constant rate, that is the 50-50. Now come to the change in saving. Again the saving is also increasing at a constant rate. So the value will be 25, again 25, again 25, again 25. So what will be the MPS? So MPS is equal to delta S divided by delta Y. So here that is the value of 0.5, means 50%, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. So it indicates that is the 50%. So 50% means what? As the income increases, as income increases, 50% of increased income is saved. Okay, and that's why here the MPS value is 50% or 0.5. Now it can be easily determined with the help of diagram. Again we will take the same thing. Now it is the saving line. On the y-axis, that is the saving. On the x-axis, that is the income. Clear? So suppose saving, that is the minus 25, again minus 50, 0, 25, 50, 75 and so on. So previously we have already calculated the saving lines. So that is the suppose 50, 100, 150, 200. So in this way the saving line is moving upwards. This is our saving line. So what you find? We find that this is the change in income, because horizontal lines indicates income, so that is the change in income, and vertical lines indicates the saving, so that is our delta S. So at this point the MPS is equal to 0.5. Now again the income change from 50 to 100 and the saving also change, that is the, so at this point the value will be 0.5. This is the value of MPS. Suppose now income change from 100 to 150 and the saving change, that is the delta S, this is the delta Y. So again here the MPS is equal to 0.5. So in this way we can calculate the MPS through the diagrams. Okay, now come to the relation. What is the relation between APC, MPC, APS and relation between APC and APS, comma MPC and MPS. So as we know that Y is equal to C plus S. This is the equation 1. If the equation 1 is divided by the same number on the both sides, so what will happen? Y divided by Y is equal to C divided by Y plus S divided by Y. So mathematically, or here the equation 1 is divided by both side. So it is 1. So 1 is equal to C divided by Y. We know that that is the APC plus S divided by, we know that APS. So here we find that APC plus APS is equal to 1, or we can say APS is equal to 1 minus APC, or APC is equal to 1 minus APS. So this is the basic relation between the average propensity to consume and average propensity to save. Now come to the MPC and MPS. So equation 2 is what? Change in Y. If the income changes, consumption also changes and saving also change. So delta Y is equal to delta C plus delta S. This is the equation 2. If equation 2 is divided by both sides the same number, what you get? So delta y divided by delta y is equal to delta c divided by delta y plus delta s divided by delta y. So divided by delta y both side. It is mathematical. So what will be the value? Value will be 1. So 1 is equal to delta c divided by delta y is equal to mpc plus delta s divided by delta y is equal to mps. So we can say the value of mpc plus mps is equal to 1, or 1 minus mpc is equal to mps, or 1 minus mps is equal to mpc. So this is the relation between APC and APS and MPC and MPS. Okay, thank you.